Hey everyone, Mark here at Discover Your Home. In today's tips, we're going to talk a little bit about I've got some cedar siding on my house and it's looking a little rough. And why is it looking a little rough?
Sounds good.
And there's holes and this and that going on. So what's the damage from? What's going on in your home? So these are a few of the things that I have noticed over the last 30 some years of what the biggest challenge when you have a wood sided home, um, why you have problems or what we need to do to solve them. So let's start with the challenges. Okay, so usually they're obviously of Mother Nature, and sometimes they're creatures, and sometimes it's just nature at its best. So let's talk. So woodpeckers, birds building nests, carpenter bees, carpenter ants, a squirrel trying to gnaw through the siding to get into your house. Um, Critters are, I would say, we get at least a half dozen calls every year to fix woodpecker or bird holes. We just did a job and I got called back because the nest was still alive in the wall and we couldn't hear when we were putting the wood up on the siding up on the wall, and the baby birds started to chirp, pulled off the board. Little animal rescue came over, got the birds out, took them in, and placed them somewhere else. So those can be a big challenge. Insects, big challenge. Getting kind of moving forward, just age, the sun, depending upon side of home. A typical house in the Midwest here, if you have a cedar home and you have a south facing, your house faces south and you're siding on all four sides, your south side's going to take the most abuse. Your east and west are going to take about the same abuse, and your north side looks brand new 5 years later. So that's just the way it is. I find that a lot of challenges are due to somewhere in the lifespan of the siding, someone neglected to take care of it. And usually it's a typical siding job that needs to be taken care of is every 6 to 8 years, depending on number of coats, depending on type of product. Back in the 70s and 80s, we saw everything that was cedar being put up, lap siding or beveled siding that was put up was semi-transparent stain. Well, you technically should be restaining that every 2 to 3 years, where a solid body you can get twice that amount of time out. So along the line, there was neglect going on. So you get cupping of boards. Generally, I'd say that's probably the biggest challenge than the animals. The animals are usually very isolated. You'll get a little bit of rot just due to the fact that someone or something accessed the inside of your home through the wood siding. So I always get asked, hey, can I let it go for another year? Can I just replace a few boards? It really gets back to what you want your house to look like. And can it wait another year? Sure. Everything can wait another year. If it's not within your budget or your means to do so, wait another year. Get more siding done, because sometimes we want to put pieces in and pieces look okay, except to when you go stain them and you got a board that's been there for 30 years, that's got 20 coats of stain, and then you got this brand new board. The textures don't match up, okay? So a lot of times I recommend doing as much as possible, especially when you get a lot of cupping, usually on the south side exposure, replacing a majority of it so it looks the same once done. If that's not within your budget, then I always tell people, let's pick the worst of the worst and let's get rid of them and try to make the best of the worst ones that we have remaining. Okay, so if you have a cedar-sided home, these are the key issues that are going to be facing you. So if you're looking to get your house done and get it fixed up, say this summer or this fall, these are the types of things that you're going to want to address with a professional or in doing them yourself. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Mark with Discover Your Home. Hopefully these tips helped you out. I'll talk to you soon.